Today I'm going to talk about the requirements for applying indefinitely to remain as a victim of domestic violence. Somebody asked me the other week, what are the requirements? And he was a little bit confused whether life in the UK test and English language tests are required, because he was worried if he would apply, he didn't even have life in the UK tests. And so this is just to confirm that if you apply for indefinite leave to remain as a victim of domestic violence, you do not have to have the life in the UK test. You are exempt from it. Similarly, you're also exempt from passing the English language test. Okay, so the requirements would be, as I have mentioned before in another video, but just a recap, you would need evidence of domestic violence from your spouse. So this will be in the form of police report. This will be in the form of a letter of support from your social worker or from a refuge where you're staying. Letter from your GP confirming that you have seen them and explained or asked for a prescription for depression, for example. If you have court orders, it would also you would also need to supply this. There may be court orders like non-molestation order, occupation order. Then you need to provide this as evidence of domestic violence. In fact, those court orders weigh heavily in terms of evidential proof that you are a victim of domestic violence, but not necessarily you have these. Okay, just because you don't have these does not mean that you're not going to get your indefinite leave to remain, because the Home Office will check whether or not the documents that you provided are proof that you are a victim. So along with those would be passport and 2 photographs, and obviously the payment if you can pay. If not, then you need to complete a request for waiver of fee, which you need to complete, and you need to complete, and you need to provide evidence that you can't afford to pay the fee, and supply 6 months worth of bank statements. So those are the requirements, and this is just to clarify that you do not need life in the UK test and English language test if you apply for indefinite leave to remain as a victim of domestic violence. Normally, if it's just an indefinite leave to remain in different categories, of course that is a requirement, a mandatory requirement, 2 of them. But under this domestic violence victim concession, you do not need to provide those. Okay, so that's very clear, and thank you for watching the video. Bye.